Hello, welcome to an Open Great League video. I know I haven't been making many videos lately. That's because my interest for Go Battle League has been very low lately. I've also been occupied with other things, so that's why I haven't made many videos lately. This time I'm going to showcase a set of three in an Open Great League meta that's slightly altered. It's no secret that I'm not a fan of the Master League meta this cycle in factions, but I was down to try Open Great League. However, it's a little bit different because this time you can only pick one of the below 6 Pokemon. You can only pick one of Galarian, Stunfisk, Medicham, Registeel, Sableye, Trevenant or Walrein. Now Walrein isn't as dominant anymore, so I'm expecting that not to be a restricted pick for next season, but it is what it is right now, and I think this is a very good addition because we have an example here from my good friend GreenBeeV. I'll put his link as well in the description if you want to see more of his stuff, his content. And he collects data, and this is some of the data from the last regional in Liu, where I was as well, by the way, if you haven't seen that. These are the most common combined cores from Liu, right? There were 100 teams, and 38 of those teams had both Medicham and Stunfisk. So now you can only pick one of these Pokemon in this meta. 34 had Stunfisk and Trevenant. You can only pick one of these Pokemon, and 25 had Medicham and Trevenant. Lickitung is not restricted. I think it should be, maybe, because it's pretty overpowered, but that is what it is. Let's take a look at my matchup here. I'm playing against Bobby Venton from Sky Dragons Gaming, and we do have some similarities in our lines. We have the bulky Lickitung and Cresselia, both very strong Pokemon that are unrestricted, and my restricted pick here is Galarian Stunfisk. I just think it's the most broken Pokemon in the game, and his restricted pick is Medicham, which is a bit more flexible. And as soon as you can't pick Medicham, you'll find that the fighters in Open Great League are kind of weak, lame, or easy to counter. Either of those three. Medicham really, if you need a fighter, Medicham really is the absolute best option. I went with Toxicroak since I already have Galarian Stunfisk as my restricted pick, because Toxicroak doesn't lose as hard to Medicham while still doing the same thing somewhat. You still lose the 1 shields to Lickitung, and you lose the 0 shields to a Galarian Stunfisk, which is kind of stupid, but Toxicroak, unfortunately, is very fragile. Other than that, I have Mandibuzz, which was by far the MVP for me in Liu. I got to 6th place there. So I went with that again. Tapu Fini, instead of Azumarill, better Gfisk coverage, so that's why I went with Tapu Fini there. And Lickitung, Cresselia are just bulk monsters, really. You can never go wrong with bulk. Let's take a look at these battles. My opponent has 3 Shadows, not as bulky as mine, but I think they're very flexible and very usable. Let's scroll a bit through this, because I think I was in a team selection with the tactical for a bit here. Yeah, so the danger of this line here that I'm going with is if I lead into Cresselia, they can throw a move into my Lickitung save swap and flip anything, right? So that's a bit difficult, but I lead into Abomasnow, and Toxicroak basically beats all his shadows into 2 shields, so I'm very satisfied with that. His swap takes 1 turn, so I can throw my Mob Bomb here and then swap into my Mandibuzz to take all the hits here. My Mandibuzz is running Snarl and Dark Pulse. Air Slash might be a little bit better against his Medicham for sure, but then I'd be worse against the Cresselia and even the Lickitung. Air Slash Mandibuzz can lose the 1 shields to Lickitung, while Snarl, Dark Pulse, Mandibuzz comes out with a full move and like 25% HP in that matchup. So I went with Snarl, Dark Pulse here. This is an overheat. It does by far the most damage that any of his Pokemon throw, I think, so I will shield that up. And now I have still quite some health for that Abomasnow. You'd think that Abomasnow is very strong against Mandibuzz here. Well, it's pretty close, because this Aerial Ace, a very weak move, is still going to do like 50% to Abomasnow, and he can't take another one, so now he has to shield this up. However, Abomasnow is pretty offensive, offensive weighted Pokemon, attack weighted Pokemon here, and its Weather Ball is going to do about a 50% to my fragile Toxicroak. So I'm in sort of a decent spot, but we'll have to see what's in the back. And it is the Cresselia. My Lickitung has a decent matchup here. Now, if they have Future Sight, this is actually not that good as you think it is. Because I believe Lickitung loses the Zero Shield. A Stab Future Sight hits really hard, and 2 of them plus Psycho Cuts would take out my Lickitung. While my Stab Licks, sorry, my non-Stab Licks, they don't do as much. I mean, they're super effective, so I guess they're doing damage, but... And the Body Slams, I guess that's the best thing about Lickitung, right? Stab Body Slam is strong, just like on a Vigoroth. Just gonna keep licking here, just gonna keep slamming. I am aware that another Moonblast will take me out at this point, maybe even a Grass Knot with some Psycho Cuts. I'll throw another Body Slam. This... I expected that this would take out the Cresselia, but Cresselia is so bulky and it didn't take him out. And now I make this misplay because if this is a Moonblast, and I think my opponent was at the Moonblast because it's 776, but they threw the Grass Knot, which is resisted, it would not have KO'd at all. Now this Weather Ball, it does about 50%, so this is gonna get really close here. It might almost take out my Toxicroak. That's a decent rank, but not the best. However, the counter went through, and now one lick will take out this Abomasnow. So... very close matchup there. I had the alignment that I wanted. I had the game how I wanted it to go, right? Because if I lead into anything but Cresselia there, my Toxicroak lead is just so good there. So that just went the way, that just really went the way I wanted. Good thing I did bring Tapu Fini because I think my opponent really likes that Shadow Abomasnow here. Let's take a look at the second match. I think they took a while to queue in, as you can see by me fast forwarding here. Here we go. We got my Mandibuzz. I expected the Cresselia or the Lickitung, and he leads Kanto Ninetales, which is a scary matchup. This is positive for Mandibuzz, but if they have Overheat, which they already revealed in game 1, it's gonna do a lot of damage. Dark Pulse coming through, it does 41% to the Kanto Ninetales, and an Overheat will do about 65 to 70%, I believe. That's not a move I want to take, but they bait with the Weather Ball, and sucks for me that I shield that. So now I'll throw another Dark Pulse here. I don't think I want to go 2 shields down here, but it was also tempting to do so because there's nothing else that hits harder, really. Even if it is a Abomasnow in the back, an Energy Ball would do less. This is the Overheat. It almost takes me out, and they swap into a Abomasnow. I thought I'd hit the Aerial Ace there, but I didn't, and then was a bit too late with my swap. So now the Abomasnow has about 2 or 3 Power Snows already. I'm going in with my Cresselia here because I'm expecting his own in the back. A Future Sight will do massive damage here, so this is not looking too bad here. My opponent throws an Energy Ball, a Stab Energy Ball from Shadow Abomasnow that does a lot of damage here. I also still have to deal with the Kanto Ninetales, which is 3 Fire Spins of a Weather Ball, so this isn't looking really great at the moment. And now after the Energy Ball, they can even get to 2 Weather Balls here. I know they're a one-off, so I can't shield that. Even though a Future Sight would probably take it out from there. But I'm throwing it all on Lickitung here. Pray that this is an Energy Ball. And it is. Now I can farm up a little bit more. I think that's a smart play by my opponent because they threw Weather Ball. I would have thrown Body Slam immediately and their energy would have been wasted. This Body Slam will take out the Abomasnow. Then they still have that Kanto Ninetales, and I'm expecting the Cresselia in the back. If they don't land that Weather Ball, but unfortunately I counted wrong here. And honestly, at this point, with Psycho Cuts, I'm probably in 2 Moonblast range anyway. So very unfortunate play, very unfortunate for me, and I think perfect, absolute perfect execution from my opponent. Not even throw my move here. I already know it's over. But then, then I realized, wait, this. Let me just see how close this gets, because that Moonblast did nothing. Maybe I may have been fine if I threw the Body Slam into that Kanto Ninetales before it threw the Weather Ball. As you can see, those Psycho Cuts do nothing. So I'm gonna throw another Body Slam here. I mean, this is over because a 1 Fire Spin takes me out as well. And I almost got to a Power Whip, which wouldn't have taken it out anyway, but that's as close as I could make it. So yeah, very well played by my opponent. Kanto Ninetales and Shadow Abomasnow are fragile picks, but I didn't bring the Toxicroak that does so well against them. And it's also scary to bring Toxicroak when their Cresselia is so good for them. This time I noticed that they were pretty weak to the Galarian Stunfisk every time, right? Because Rock Slide hits good on all this Pokemon and is decent against the Cresselia. So I brought Galarian Stunfisk in the back, and this time I lead into his Medicham, which I definitely didn't expect. Even without Moonblast, is a very positive matchup for Cresselia, so I'm happy with this. And they bring in the Lickitung safe swap here, so I'm guessing they might try to bait out my Mandibuzz or something. Maybe they are going with triple bulk here. I have no idea. Let's see. They let the first Earthquake through. A decent Lickitung barely survives 2 Earthquakes. But at this point, I'm pretty afraid that he might try to flip this, because I don't want my Lickitung on a loaded Medicham. So yeah, here we go. Another Earthquake on the CMP, which my Galarian Stunfisk wins against his Lickitung. If the Earthquake goes through, I definitely have switch advantage, because this Power Whip will not take me out. Is it the Power Whip? It is the Power Whip, and that also leaves my Galarian Stunfisk low enough that his Medicham won't get too much farm. I don't think I can get to a Rock Slide. I don't think it really matters, because I need 2 Future Sides anyway, even after a Rock Slide. Or a Future Sight and a Grass Knot, and they swap into the Abomasnow. I'm guessing they wanted to bait out my Toxicroak with their Lickitung, and then try to sweep with their Abomasnow, because apparently that's just one of their best Pokemons, and they just really like it. They're good with it. So at this point, I'm like, wait, I think this deals the most damage out of everything the opponent can throw at me now. The Medicham's Ice Punches are gonna do like what, 15% of my Cresselia? That's not gonna hurt. So I'll just shoot everything at this point. They throw Energy Ball, so they won't get to another Weather Ball here. No defense drop, very fortunate for me. And at this point, all I have to do is just spam moves into the Medicham. I have a Future Sight loaded. I have a lot of energy on my Cresselia, and I have some energy on this Lickitung. And unfortunately, we CMP on this move. Not optimal, but it is what it is. It won't KO. It is a Dynamic Punch, however, and it does KO because it's super effective. I expected Power Punch, Ice Punch on his Medicham. Honestly, I felt like that had the most coverage against everything. It looks like it is Dynamic Punch. Maybe it's Dynamic Punch, Ice Punch. That would also somewhat make sense, but that will make him weaker against Toxicroak. And here we find out that he has Dynamic Punch and Psychic. He gets the defense drop, which is unfortunate for me. Gonna go straight Future Sight because I think his win con is no shooting a Grass Knot. But they shoot the Future Sight anyway, making it even closer. Future Sight is a little bit more of an expensive move, so it's gonna take me a while to get there, but this Psychic, even with a defense drop, is not going to do enough. Counter a very strong stab move on Medicham, but not going to take out my Cresselia. Cresselia is extremely dominant against a Medicham, and that ties up the 2-1 win for me. So I have a good impression of this Open Great League meta. I would love to see it even more in like play Pokemon tournaments, maybe? No, I think that'll just be Open Great League, but definitely breaking up the most common core, because Medicham and Galarian Stunfisk are by far some of the most broken Pokemon in Open Great League at the moment. I liked it this time, maybe I hate it after I go to you next time, we'll see. Thank you for watching and have a good one.